Okay, I think we may start. Thank you very much for your participation. As I said before, I am Erlinda Toska. I will be the program manager of MOVE Grants, together in collaboration with my colleague Hanan Kovacevic, who is with us on Zoom. We have decided to make these online info sessions because we think that we can reach out to more potential beneficiaries and interested applicants. This week we have been around the region in all contracting parties except of Belgrade. That will be done on the 29th of March. So next week we will be in Belgrade as well. Nevertheless, we think that the info sessions, the online info sessions, are very important for us to reach also individuals and organizations coming from other locations except the capitals of the region, of course. So the info session today has the aim to present you this new grant scheme mechanism that WBF will, let's say, put forward for individuals and organizations in the region for short-term grants, which are, let's say, complementary to the annual call and have easier criteria to apply to. If you have, I will make the presentation in English. Nevertheless, if you will have any question in other languages, that may be a question in your language, and my colleague Hanan will provide you, let's say, the explanation in the language that you will require. I will share the screen with the presentation. Just a short introduction about the WBF. Western Balkan Funds is a regional mechanism established in 2015 by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Albania, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Kosovo, Montenegro, North Macedonia, and Serbia. And this regional initiative that is fully owned by our governmental bodies, which is actually a very good practice that we try to promote and also to encourage, let's say, regional ownership in the whole region. Our mission is to support regional projects at people-to-people level in order to share experiences, mutual values, traditions, and culture, having a regional dimension. We think that this is very important because let's say that the trend has been for us as people and citizens of the region to go beyond the region, to go outside, to know better, let's say, other areas of the world, of the EU, and not knowing very well our regions. We are trying to do so with different types of activities and grants. WBF has already introduced the trust-building partnership approach through the annual call that is published annually, where organizations may come with proposals that include at least 3 partners from the region. And this has been to encourage actors to cooperate with each other within the framework of the projects. But based on its strategies, since we don't want only to widen the regional cooperation, but also to deepen it a little bit, we would like to go at another level to support not only civil society organizations through the annual calls, but also individuals. We think that they can be change actors with different types of activities going around the region. So that is why we have, let's say, adopted this new approach. We want to be responsive, context-driven, and also to respond to the needs and potentials of all potential beneficiaries. So that is why we have decided to propose a new grant mechanism. We have called it MOVE Grants. It is an umbrella portfolio that includes different types of grants. For 2023, we have decided to open two types of grants that will be related to mobility in the region and to matching grants. Why have we called it MOVE? Because we want to see it twofolded. From our perspective as organization, we want to be context driven and also to adapt to how the context changes and to the potentials and the needs of the beneficiaries in the region. And from the beneficiaries' perspective, we would like to see the change of mindset, opening to other cultures and traditions and exchanging experiences with each other. So that is why it is called MOVE. We have done a survey in December while we were designing this new grant mechanism in order to ask to potential beneficiaries what they think about mobility and matching grant in the region. And what we saw, it was the fact that it's highly needed and is highly required. So this is what we have done. We have designed a grant mechanism that is in line with our objectives, but also in line with the needs and potentials of the actors in the region. It is complementary to the annual call because the annual call of WBF remains one of the main activities, grant giving mechanisms at annual level. But anyhow, the grants that will be provided by MOVE grants can be complementary to this. We have a starting budget that is only a starting point for us since it's the first year and it is a pilot year. Nevertheless, I would like to stress the fact that even though we have 250,000 euro for the moment, MOVE grants has a huge potential, and based on the quality of proposals and your ideas, we can raise it up, of course, based to the needs. So it is just a starting budget. Mobility grants. This is the first type of grants that we will support through MOVE grants, and it will provide access to movement and participation to a wide range of activities or initiatives in the region to ensure professional and personal exchange of experiences. Mobility grants will be open to individuals and civil society organizations, of course, under the specific eligibility criteria. Nevertheless, since for us it is a new grant mechanism and also involving individuals as potential applicants is something new as well, we have decided that for this year to put a maximum threshold for individuals up to 5,000 euros and for organizations up to 10,000 euros. In this grant mechanism for mobility grants, you don't have to come with co-financing. It can be supported up to 100%. This means that if a professor wants to move in the region and he needs for 2 weeks to make research in 1 or 2 universities in the contracting parties, we can, if the proposal is accepted, we can fully support it without asking for co-financing. If the applicant wants also to co-finance the mobility, the proposal that he or she brings to, it is fully doable. Nevertheless, there is also a difference from the annual call, because in order to make the criteria for mobility easier to apply and to implement, we have decided to lower the criteria about the partnership or involvement of contracting parties. Mobility grants are for cross-border activities. This means that a person or an organization has no obligation to have any partner in the region whatsoever. Meaning, if an organization wants to move in the region, going with a group of persons from Podgorica to Belgrade, to meet an organization with whom they think there is potential to establish a partnership agreement or to write a concept project that they may use in the future, they can do so. So the partnership is not obligatory. Also for the individuals, if a student or a young professional wants to go from his organization or university, wants to go to another organization in the region to have an internship, to have an exchange experience, there is no need for partnership agreement. The important is that they establish a contact with the organization and they are sure that they will be hosted there. At the moment of application for mobility grants, we will not require any additional document except the proposal, the project, and the budget. If the proposal is accepted, at the moment that it is accepted, we will ask, for example, for a document from the hosting institution that they agree and they are informed that the individual or the organization is going to them for the days that they have asked to go. Nevertheless, if the individual or organization apply to move around the region involving more than two contracting parties, meaning if a professor wants to go to the University of Tirana, to University of Belgrade, to University of Skopje, this is additionally scored because this means that the regional dimension of the project is bigger. So for us, it's more interesting, of course. You need to keep in mind the regional dimension of every proposal, because this is one of the main criteria that is asked. Who can be eligible for the mobility grants? For the mobility grants can be eligible citizens of the Western Balkan contracting parties that are somehow part of a non-public or public organization. This doesn't mean that they have to have a recommendation from their institution or organization, just that they are part. If they are selected, we will ask for a certificate that a student is part of the university or a young professional is part of an organization. It doesn't have to be strictly an employer, an employee. It can be also volunteer, an intern, it can be other forms of engagement. In terms of public or non-public legal entities, we have included the CSO, NGOs, educational institutions, universities, private or public, schools, institutes, associations, institutes of culture of sports, which are very similar to the, let's say, eligibility applicants of the annual call. So it is very extended. In case of matching grants is another type of grant that is very relevant and will require the applicant to ensure additional funds from other regional organizations, let's say, to organize an activity or to complete a running project. These types of grants aim more to complement, enhance, or strengthen the results of a certain activity, let's say. For example, if an organization is organizing already a regional conference and they want to expand it more, to invite more experts or participants, and they have part of the funds, they can come with a proposal and we may support them with up to 50% of the budget, with a threshold of up to 10,000 euros. So this is, let's say, the condition for matching funds. This is why they are called matching grants, because we can come up only up to 50% of the budget. If an organization has already 80% of the funds, but they miss 20% of funds to organize any kind of activity which has a regional dimension, they can apply to us. Under the matching grants, organizations should have at least one partner from one of the Western Balkan contracting partners. And if they involve more, this will be additionally scored. We have decided that matching grants will be eligible only for public or non-public organizations. Why? Because at the moment of the application, the organization may come only with a proposal and a budget proposal, where they engage saying, we have this amount of budget, and we need this amount of budget from your side. If they are selected for the grant, we will ask them to submit the budget that they have already allocated. This is important to us at the moment of contracting procedure because we cannot sign a grant contract up to 10,000 euros, covering only part of the activity without having the assurance that the organization has already the engaged funds that are required. The funds that are coming from the organization may be funds from the organization itself, if they have the funds, or from other donors. To us, it is not important, but it is important that you coordinate with your donors as well, that they know that you are matching funds. This is important to us. So, for example, if you are running already a project that is financed by the Swiss or by the Swedish agency of cooperation, and they have given you 70% of the funds, and you say that you need only 30% of the funds for the organization of any type of activity at regional relevance, we will require from your side a letter from the donor or the budget that proves that you have the funds that you declare you have. At that point, we will sign the contract and go on. So this is an important component to us. Nevertheless, even if you are planning for an activity, we can understand that you cannot come with this supporting document since the beginning. That is why we have left it for a second stage. So at the beginning, if you are collecting funds for a regional conference, for example, you can come with a proposal, and only at the moment that you have been selected, you have to bring this additional document. Which are the fields of intervention that we support through mobility and matching funds? If you have experience with the WBF projects, you have seen that we had only 3 very general fields of intervention. In case of MOVE, we have specified them a little bit more because we want also to help individuals, since it's a grant also for individuals, to find themselves in one of these fields of intervention. So it's sports, arts and culture, environment, economic development and digital innovation, media, education, and scientific exchange. So it is very broad. As I said before, mobility grants that aim only movement in the region will be covered up to 100%. Matching grants will be covered up to 50% of the budget required. And if the project is selected, we will give 80% of the funds at the beginning and then 20% when the project is finalized. This is also important for us to monitor and to get assurance from the grantees that they have implemented the project as it should be. What type of actions you may apply to? In case of mobility, but also matching, you can come with up to 3 activities within a period of implementation of 6 months. These grants are called from our side as short-term grants because actually the size of the grants are not so big and we want them to be, let's say, implemented within 6 months. The activities you will come with to the proposal should have clear regional relevance. It means that if a young person, a student, an intern, a young professional wants to participate to an academy, to an internship, to an exchange, it needs to have a regional dimension. They cannot just apply individually for a very individual objective. The activity they want to participate has a clear regional relevance. The action should take place in the Western Balkans region, and we really much encourage this, but there is an exception that if an individual or organization wants to move beyond the region, participating in a conference or in another activity where they can promote the Western Balkans, a very good practice or a model of cooperation, also these actions can be supported. For example, we were asked yesterday in Skopje. It was a youth association that had a very good cooperation model in the region, and they were invited in Portugal to present this very good model of cooperation from the Western Balkans region, and they asked if they are eligible. And we said yes, because if you go to promote the region as such, this is within the objective of the call. Types of activities. The list that you may see, it is not exhaustive. It means it's not complete. It's only, let's say, to give you the idea of what type of activities we can support. Through mobility, since it is strictly related to the movement of persons, so individuals or organizations, you can apply for learning or professional internships, residencies, presentation or representation of papers, documentaries. For example, if an artistic person who has prepared a documentary that has regional relevance, that they think that they should present in a film festival or in another activity that has regional let's say dimension, they can apply. We can support it. Or if musicians want to participate to regional concerts, they can apply as well, either as individuals, where they should apply individually, or through an organization. And the advantage of the organizations is that the organizations may apply also for a group of people, always keeping in mind the budget, the maximum budget available. Participation in summer or winter camps, capacity building activities, representation in championships or marathons, in fairs, for example, for the Association of Businesses or NGOs that deal with women in enterprise, or so this is possible. The last point, it is very important for us to explain, because actually we will publish this PPT presentation since it may be relevant to you. Yes, we can do that. Anyhow, this is a very summarized version of the guidelines that you can find on our online page, wbf.org, just in case, so you know. In case of mobility, I just want to strengthen the point that you don't need a partner to apply. An organization, a university can apply with the purpose to establish a future partnership or agreement with another organization that they want to go and have some kind of exchange of experiences. So establishment or strengthening of partnerships with regional relevance is part of our activities that we may support. In case of matching grants, since matching grants are also for organization of different types of activities, you may apply also for organization of high-level events, awareness raising campaigns, communication activities, conferences, workshops, any type of activity that have regional dimension. The rest of the types of activities is very similar to mobility.
Arinda, just 1 second. You're not sharing the screen.
No?
Yeah.
Now, no? Okay, I will try to reshare it again.
Thank you.
Can you see it now?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, then I will try again to share it, because now a very important part comes.
Okay, they see.
Okay, now what you are seeing is the type of costs. Okay, good. The type of costs. As I was saying, mobility grants will support only strictly the movement. This means that either the individuals and organizations need to see where they fit. For individuals, they fit only in mobility. But organizations can either apply to mobility or matching depending on the cost that they want to cover. For mobility, you know that it's 100% covered and you don't need co-financing. And here we support transportation and travel insurance cost, accommodation allowance, fee or entrance ticket if you are going to a fair or an academy or a training, and bank fees. We had a question in regards to visa fees. If it is needed, we will support it as well. But since it is not for all the contracting parties, we have not put it as a specific cost. Anyhow, these are the costs that will be covered for mobility. Just so you know, when you fill in the budget, you have a comment, a remark that you should read very carefully, because we are treating the grantees as we treat the staff of Western Balkan Fund. This means that for accommodation, for example, we have a fee that goes up to 65% per 65 euro per night. And for allowance, we have 40 euros per day, which is already fixed. Please keep this in mind, because if you put, let's say, amounts that go beyond what is required, you may not be selected. In case of transportation, of course, you need to calculate yourself which is the most effective and efficient way of traveling. You have the possibility to travel by airfare, by public transport, by private car. So there are different types of transportation means. You just need to find where you, I mean, what is more efficient for you. In case of, we had a question here from a professor. He said, apart from the daily allowance, do you have any additional, let's say, payment for these people that are moving? Unfortunately, no. What we cover for the mobility is only these types of costs. We need to secure everything that you need in order for you to move and to participate to the activities. So this is what we cover, nothing else. Just for you to know, at the moment that you are selected and you will, we will give you the grant, you will have to bring us the agenda of the activity. If an individual has a 2-day activity in Belgrade and they want to stay 3 days because they want to, we will cover only the days of the activities and the traveling days. We cannot cover other days that are not related to the activity. Please also keep this in mind. I see here a question. What about the accountant or bank fees? Bank fees are covered by us. But in case of salaries or any other project cost, it is not supported by mobility. So mobility strictly supports movement of people and covers their staying where they are going to and coming back. So this is what is required for mobility. What about artist fee in a case of a festival presentation? Yes, we have foreseen it. This means that if you need to pay a fee to go to a festival where it's a regional festival, let's say you are going to present a movie or something else, or you are going to participate, we can pay the fee. The important is that the budget that you will propose should be within the maximum amount that we have, and also the fee that you will pay, of course, that we will ask for the justification. Attention, if you will pay the fee, you will have to pay the fee only when the grant contract is signed, not before. We had a question yesterday from a young person that he said, we are going in a tournament of math, a mathematic marathon, but we need to pay the fee 1 year prior and then participate the next year. Can you cover the fee also? No. They have to pay the fee from themselves, and if they are selected for the grant, we will cover all their expenses. But these expenses need to be within the timeline of the project that they have proposed, that is up to 6 months. Shortly, there will be no indirect cost reimbursements. For mobility, no, because we have only foreseen, apart from these costs, only a 7% emergency fee of the total budget, just in case you will need to use let's say the 7% of the total budget for emergency cases. If you go in a very rural area and you find out that you cannot come back with the public transportation that you had foreseen before and you need to take the taxi, then you can use the emergency fund. But there are no salaries for mobility. Provision task are we putting in this budget? I don't understand this. Daniel, if you can write the question a little bit more complete. The budget of mobility is very simple. You need to put the transportation vehicle with what you are going, the accommodation for how many days you are going, the allowance for how many days you are staying there and for the traveling days. If there is any fee of participation, to calculate it as well, the bank fees as well. This is what we support with mobility, strictly moving. If the conference that students are invited is in the next month, can we apply? You can apply, but I will go on and explain to you. These MOVE grants will open 3 times per year, in March, in June, and in October. And the application stage will be 30 days. Then we will have 40 days for the evaluation and selection. So you know, if you apply, if you will be given a grant by mid-May, not before. So if the conference is in April, we will not even have time to respond to you on time and sign the contract. If your activities are by mid-May and onwards, yes, you can apply. It's fully on time. These 7% of emergency cases, do we plan it in the budget that we send to you? No. The 7% is already there. You just have to calculate how much is your total budget foreseen. You calculate also an extra 7%. And that 7% will be used only in emergency cases. It is part of the budget, yes. You just need to put it there as an emergency fee, just to have it there in case you will need it. For the matching costs, the list of the eligible costs is a little bit more, sorry, it got blocked also because we are quite a lot of people. Can you see the matching costs? Yes. The list of eligible costs is a little bit longer because in case of matching, you may also, apart from moving around the region, you may also organize activities. So you have transportation and travel insurance costs, accommodation, allowance, cost of services and supplies, if you need translation or equipment for the conference, workshop, summer camp, whatever you are organizing, cost of printing and publishing, cost of consumables, rent of premises, and also fee for consultancy. We had the question here if salaries are included, and no, they are not included. This is something that the organization should take care of. Matching grants are mostly to support the organization of these types of activities, or even moving around the region. In case you would need expertise for this conference initiative, whatever activity that you are having, you can provide it in the fee for consultancy, that is fee for expert. If you need any expert in your conference, you can invite them, even by paying them, considering always, please calculate with the price market of the consultancy fee in the Western Balkan region. We had a question yesterday. Can we take experts from the EU or from other beyond the region? Yes, you can. The important thing is that the activity is for the region, it has a regional dimension, and it contributes to the objective of the call. This is very important. If you are having, for example, as an organization, a running project, and you have an activity that you want to match with us, this running project is 100,000 euros. and the activity that you want to organize is only 20,000, the matching budget that you need to bring to us, give it only the 10,000 that you need to provide, up to 50%. We don't need to see the full budget of the project. We don't want to. The important thing is that you have allocated at least 50% of the budget for the activity that you want to organize with us. So you don't need to put all the budget of your running project in the proposal. Only the budget that is required as a criteria, as a condition for us, the at least 50%. What you see here is the most important element of this grant scheme, because this actually changes a little bit also the mindset of applying to us for a grant. This move mechanism for mobility and for matching will be open 3 times per year, and it's very predictable. This means that you can plan your projects, you can plan your activities and apply for a grant when you need to. And it will open in March, in June, and in October. And it has a very specific timeline when you will get the response if you have been awarded a grant or not. This means that if you have a summer camp that you are organizing in summer, for example, if DocuFest in Prizren is being organized in August and they want to apply to us for matching funds or for mobility funds to organize a workshop or to bring people, artists, or whomever want to participate to this activity and they want to invite, they need to apply by March, because this call that has been launched on 16th of March is open until 18th of April. So 18th of April is the deadline that you can apply. Then we will have 40 days, maximum 40 days, to evaluate and to notify who has been selected. So in 40 days, you will know if you have been awarded a grant or not. And if you have been awarded a grant, this means that we will sign the grant contract by mid of May, end of May, and you may have the grant to implement for the next 6 months. The same logic will go for June and for October. So I invite you to plan your activities when you need to apply. If you have an activity that you organize annually in December, then you have to apply by June. You don't need to apply in March. This is a very good mechanism, we think, because it is open 3 times per year. And you can apply and try to get a grant either in March, in June, or in October. We have had the question if people can apply for mobility and for matching. Yes, you can apply, but the eligible costs are different. So you need to see where you fit better. And how many grants can you be awarded? You can be awarded up to 1 grant per year, not more. This means that if you are awarded a grant in March, then most likely you cannot be awarded a grant in June or in October. This is also to diversify the grantees that we have from all around the region. Hanan, please, can you read the question and respond?
Absolutely. The question is asking regarding the OGMS system, if we could explain the online grant management system and the way to apply. Are you going to?
Yes. So very briefly, first of all, you can find our call open. Just a second. You can find our call open on the website of WBF. So it is westernbalkanfunds.org, and you can find it here in Move Grants. If you click here, then you will be directed to this page that is the applicant portal. And you have to log in to applicant portal that is here in green. You go in the applicant portal, you register. If you are not registered, especially, for example, for individuals, it's something new. For the organizations that have already applied, then maybe they have already the username and password. For individuals, they have to register, and then you log in. When you log in the system, you have WBF Move Grants Mobility Grant Scheme or WBF Move Grants Matching Funds Grant Scheme. The applications are quite easy. They are tailored also for individuals and organizations. And also from our side, considering that these are not big grants and have a short-term implementation period, what is required is not very much engaging, meaning that we are not asking for very difficult sustainability components or follow-up, but it is a little bit easier as a criteria to apply. I hope this is helpful. I will share now just the rest of the presentation, which is almost in the end, if you allow me to. If you have any other question, please feel free to ask. I mean, we are here for this. The partnership platform is mostly for the organizations. When they apply to matching grants, then they should have at least one partner. Our partnership platform may serve to you. Can an individual that is a resident apply for a MOVE grant not having nationality? Unfortunately, this call for proposals is for the citizens of the Western Balkan countries. So residency is not sufficient. They need to be citizens of one of the contracting parties of the Western Balkan country. Yes, Christina, you have raised your hand, so please.
Thank you very much. I'm Christina from Mostar for Bosnia and Herzegovina. Please, could you just go back to this system, if it's possible, because I don't understand what to do next.
Okay. Sure.
Is there any forms that we fill and then upload, or everything is done in the system? I don't
Everything,
understand that.
yes.
Can we go this open?
Yes, here I am. If you see the WBF
Yes.
Move grants,
okay,
you have to
yes,
to apply.
Yes. Okay.
Wait a second. I don't know why I cannot.
This is our testing
yes, because
account,
it's our
so
testing. But if you click open,
okay,
you will find all sections of the application that are in the system, and you fill in the application. Okay. The only document that you will need to upload, I mean, the budget is there, the project is there, you fill it in the system. The only document that you will need to upload is a declaration from your side that what you declare in the proposal is true. This is in the last section. You find the document, you download it, and you type it and you upload it. So it is there, and everything it is in the system. So to apply is everything done online.
Okay. I can write and then save that and then write again next day until I submit.
Yes.
I can change everything and.
Yes, it can be a work in progress until the moment that you submit.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I had a question here, if this move grant will be in 2024. Yes, it is an annual grant mechanism, and it will be repeated next year as well. Is there any documentation that are needed to be uploaded in grant management system for eligibility check? Not for the moment. You will just need to upload the declaration of the applicant. For the moment, this is what is required. If you are selected for a grant, then we will ask you a documentation, a certification from the organization, university, or any public entity you work for or you are part of. So it is part of the second stage if you have been selected for a grant. Should we upload partnership document? Only in case of matching funds. If you apply for matching funds, you may upload the partnership agreement that you have. No, actually, no. Excuse me. It's not needed in this phase. You just need to apply with the application budget form that is already online and the declaration of the applicant. The partnership document will be required if you are selected for a grant. This has been done also to ease your application process. You don't need to provide everything since the beginning, since you don't know if your application is selected or not. If your application is selected, then you can move on with the rest of the documents. You can find the list in the guidelines for applicants. Aida Ibrecevic, please.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. A quick question about residencies, or should I say exchanges, with the purpose of establishing cooperation with two different universities, or one is a university, then one is a CSO in the region, to apply for future upcoming Horizon call. So the question is, what would be the concrete deliverable that could be listed there, and also what to do about visibility, so and dissemination. So the idea is for one researcher to go to these two different places, work on the grant proposal for the upcoming Horizon, establish this cooperation with one university and one CSO, but in terms of deliverable and also visibility and dissemination, what do you expect? Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. Actually, what we would need, for example, as a deliverable is just the concept note of the project that you are writing with your partners in the region or with the organizations that you have selected to be part of this concept note of the project. This can be a deliverable for us, or even the establishment of the partnership agreement that maybe you didn't have, but you did for the purpose of writing the project that you are going to deliver for Horizon 2020. This can be a deliverable as well. In regards to visibility, it will be an easy mechanism. What we have put in the project proposal is, for example, if you are an individual, you may also post something on the social media. You can choose. It's with the selection of options. So it can be either an article, it can be either a post, something online. So it's up to you as organization or individual to find the right mean to provide the visibility online. But we don't require, let's say, very strict criteria for visibility. It is in the options of the application anyhow. It's in the last section of the application.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a question from Sanya.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
I have two questions. One is regarding the individual mobility. So how long individual can stay in another country if this person wants? And then the other is the
if I may respond to this, and then
yeah.
For the mobility, actually it is up to the individual. We say that you may apply for up to 3 activities, meaning that if a professor or an artist wants to move in the region to make 3 movements, going to one host organization or university, come back, go to another one and come back, they can go with up to 3 activities, let's say, or even 1 activity. For example, if you are a student and you want to have an exchange of experiences or an internship, you can go even for 1 time, let's say, but stay longer. The important thing is that to be within the 6-month period from the signature of the contract, and also to be within the budget that is calculated. These are the only 2 criteria.
So that means the person can stay 5 months or 6 months if the project is 6 months long as well, if it is in the budget, of course.
If it is in the budget, 5 months, it can be a little bit difficult with the budget that the individuals are. But if they want to co-finance it, for example, it can be. Yes.
It can be. Okay, yes. Thank you.
And
the other, it is regarding the matching funds. So We have approved project that includes 6 Western Balkans, 6 countries. It's a youth exchange regarding Erasmus Plus program. But like, I think that this grant would help us to bring it to another level in a way that we make kind of another mobility where we can invite partners and actually prepare the program of the youth exchange. So like if this can also be supported with a grant, this is the question.
Thank you for the question. This is eligible, of course. You just need to cross-check with your donor if they agree with this. If this is an activity separated from the project, I mean, you can, I think, but you need to cross-check with the donor. If they agree, of course, we allow it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. I have a question here that say, we are a festival organizer and we want to invite artists from the region and cultural professionals based on common idea topic. Is this for move or for matching grants? It depends from what you need. If you need only to bring people in the festival, this is doable from mobility. But if you also need to organize any type of activity within the festival with these participants, then you need to go to matching. But you need to be careful because in the matching, you need to have at least 50% of the budget. So if you want full coverage and only participation, you apply with mobility. If you need only up to 50% of the budget and also bringing people in, but also paying experts or organizing activities as well, you need to apply to matching. It's up to you, depending on what you need. There any other?
Christina, do you have another question
No,
or?
no, it's just.
Yes, please.
No, sorry, I don't know how to put my hand down.
Okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Sorry.
Is there any other question from your side? Anyhow, if this was your first info session, I mean, we understand that it can be a little bit, a lot of information to digest and also to think of. So I would invite you to read the guidelines carefully, to go through the application form and budget. And then if you have any other question, to write to us at info@westernbalkanfund.org or to participate to the online session that we are having on 31st of March. I would invite you to go through the budget and the comments there because I would like you to come with a proposal that the eligibility criteria. Please write carefully the comments, especially on the accommodation, the per diem, to let's say comply with our rules. Because if a young professional comes and they say, I want to stay in a hotel that costs 130 euros per night, and to propose a per diem that is 70 euros per diem, this we cannot accept because we have rules in our organization and we are treating applicants the same as we are treating our staff. So please just be careful when you read the comments and the remarks on the budget and provide the justification for each cost.
I just want to remind also that move at the Western Balkan Funds at .org is also an available email that you were invited to. So you may write to that email as well as info.
Okay, if we don't have any other question or comment, I would also like to notify you that the most frequent questions and answers will be published at least 10 days before the deadline, so you can cross-check as well. Yes, please, I have another raised hand. Aida Ibrijevic.
Hi, question regarding the timeline. What if we don't know right now? So this is it's a flexible activity. I mean, it's not a conference or something that's the dates are set. So, I mean, the hosting can take place, I don't know, sometime in the summer. It could be like even as early as like end of May or June or July or even August. Is it possible to leave it like flexible like that? So the envisioned stay would be about 10 days in the university in one country and 10 days with the CSO in the other country. But these 10 days could happen in any one of these months that I mentioned. So it's sometime in the summer. Would you accept that type of flexibility, or yeah?
Yes, I mean, of course, it can happen. We know that activities sometimes they shift from one timeline to the other. First of all, the important is that it is within these 6 months. Anyhow, when you come with a proposal, you will have a timeline that you need to fill in. And if during the contracting procedure or even when you are implementing the project, you need to make some kind of small changes in terms of timeline of the activities, this is acceptable. I mean, it will be a communication with the Western Balkan Fund, and based on the justification, it can be changed, of course. We understand that you can have also this kind of changes.
Thank you.
Hanan, you have a question, if you can respond. 2 questions, actually.
Just 1 second. One question. The first question is from Christina, where we can see the budget form. Znači, do you want me to respond in Bosnian?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay. Znači, budžetski formular jeste na samoj OGMS aplikaciji. Kada uđete unutra, kada se registrujete i uđete unutra, možete da vidite sve stavke koje trebate da odgovorite. Jedna od njih jeste budžet, odnosno budžetski formular. U tom budžetskom formularu možete da pronađete sve remarks koji su tu postavljeni od strane WBF-a. Je li to odgovorilo vaše pitanje, Kristina? Jeste? Ok. Drugo pitanje, gdje možemo skeniti aplikacijni formular i do kada je prijava za konkurs? Prijava za konkurs jeste do 18. aprila, a formular ne skidate, već je online na našem OGMS sistemu, kao što je kolegica malo prije pokazala. I think the second question was regarding if the application forms are downloadable and where they can find it. So I just mentioned again that OGMS system is an online system where we can where you do everything online there, and you do not download any application form and upload it back again.
We are very ecological. There is another question that actually is very important. Thank you for asking. Reporting must be done with invoices. Of course. The only budget voice for example, for mobility and for matching is only the per diem fee, which is a standard fee. It will be given and the individual's organization will manage it by themselves. But all the other costs, transportation, accommodation, fee for participant, whatever other costs that you might have within the budget, you need to provide the invoices, of course. This is very important. But this is in a second stage. I mean, when you are given a grant, every grantee will be mentored, will be trained, and will be in communication with us in order for them to be prepared on how to implement this grant as well. So don't worry about this. If the organization applies with several proposals, are they automatically rejected or accepted during the year? They are not automatically rejected. We will accept them, we will read them all, and we will choose which fits better our criteria. So you can apply with several applications, but only one you can be awarded. Or blah, blah.
Tanya had a question.
BlaBlaCar, for example, I don't think you can have a receipt there, but you can put it as a private vehicle. I mean, calculating the kilometers as per the criteria that we have. So if you are 3 persons of an organization that you have applied with mobility grant and you need to go with your car from one contracting party to the other, you can use your car by calculating the cost with 0.22 kilometers, euro per kilometer, I think. And this is a comment that we have in the budget, so you can base it there.
Yes, Sanya had another question regarding Airbnb as accommodation, if it's applicable.
Yeah. Actually, Sanya, this has been a question from our side, and we have discussed it. And yes, you can use Airbnb and VRBO, but you have to know that we will accept, if the grant is accepted, or if the proposal is accepted, they have to be paid through the platform, because it's the only way for us to have an invoice that really proves that you have chosen, selected Airbnb location and you have paid it online. So it is, yes, it is doable. Can an organization apply for mobility for 2 young professionals from Macedonia to participate in a professional training, for example, career counseling training in Albania? Yes, the organization can apply, but you need to justify what kind of regional relevance this has, because it cannot be only for the individual person of individual personal training. There needs to be somehow a justification that these persons that are going for the training in Albania is a regional training. Are they going to meet other participants from the region? If this training then will be additionally used for other regional activities. I mean, all proposals need to have a very good justification of the regional dimension, because this is one of the main criteria, evaluation criteria of the proposal. Do you have any other question? We are very happy to see that the interest is really big and that you have many ideas and proposals already, and this is very encouraging. I see a hand raised. Please, who has raised the hand? Daniel, yes, you can.
Hello. Hello. Sorry, I think it would be much faster if I ask this orally than write it down on the chat. So I was looking over the topics, the themes that you have set up for this call, and we are asking, is it possible to include social care and protection in one of these areas?
Social care and protection. We can take a note on this and let's say use it for the next rounds. I don't know if it can enter somewhere here, because it depends. I mean, maybe you can have an activity that is somehow related to this field of action as well.
Yeah, we are going to try to connect it, especially with youth and youth and education and scientific research. What we are proposing is to take the students of our faculty and go around and study visit through different university and practitioners in different countries of the Balkan, so they can gather greater knowledge and also share practices of what is being done in the area, specifically, let's say, youth in conflict with law or something similar. Is that something that can be applied through this time round? That's my question.
Yes, it is eligible and you can apply, and we have had a great interest from professors, from universities, from students, because we understand that this mechanism can help them travel around the region and also exchange experiences. And yes, it is eligible as an activity.
Perfect, perfect. Regardless if it is in social care, social protection part.
I wrote it down. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think we exhausted most of the questions. As we said, if you have any other question or you want to share with us if any activity is eligible or not, please write to us in the emails that we shared. And if you have any additional question that you would like to share with us, we have this online session that is coming up on 31st of March. So we will be there for you if you need any further information. We thank you very much for your participation and interest, and we are looking forward to your proposals and ideas. I wish you a good day.
Thank you. Have a nice day too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.